Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Vada Sani from Economic Club Karachi, and in today's economic vlog, we will be discussing some internal issues that Pakistan's economy is having. Let's begin with a top story. When we are talking about the digitalization, when we are talking about technology, so yes, we talk about digital payment, digital apps, and here in Pakistan, digital loan apps, they are very much famous. And we could see that SECP Commission has issued a license to 104 digital loan companies which were providing a smart loan, and out of which 5 were cancelled from 2020 to 2025. When we're talking about these digital apps, so out of 104, only 8 famous digital apps were downloaded by 8 million people. And a part of that, the reason behind that was that they were providing easy loan facility of initially 20,000 rupees loan were provided to the borrowers right after the basic scrutiny, and yes, interest rate were charged with them. But these famous and popular loan apps, they came into the NAB right after 2023, when a sad suicidal incident happened after the blackmailing or harassment of loan recovery unit by these digital apps. One more thing which came forward regarding these digital app was that some of them, they were fake, and they were working, they were like they had the evil intentions, and what they were used to do was that they try to uh, get the control of these personal data of borrowers through their contacts, through their mobile phones, and then they were using it for the various purpose. But later on, right after this incident, when this incident came into limelight, so number of the companies, they got traced, and FIA, they had also gained access to their bank accounts and their details of these digital lending companies. The moral of the story is that it's always fine for the borrower to get some easy loan, but again, before getting into some deal, this is the responsibility of all of us, in case if we are acting as a borrower, to again scrutinize that lender, so that we could be at ease on in the later terms. And if the interest rate is too much, so for sure we must try to avoid that. Why? Because again, it's when we are talking about interest rate, so it's the cost of borrowing money, obviously. So it becomes very difficult in the later stages to return the principal amount plus the interest amount. Now, when we are talking about interest rates, so we must talk about inflation here in Pakistan. The headline inflation, which were recorded in February, was 1.5% in February, which was 2.4% in January. So if we are comparing it with January, so it's a bit low. And average CPI inflation for the year 25 came like 5.85%, which has dropped from 27.96%, which was in financial year 24. As per the analyst at RF Habib, they call February figure the weakest since September 2015. Why? Because right after 2015 and right after 2018, we have experienced that they have been a global economic changes, market volatility. So for sure, they are, and political instability here in Pakistan, which gave rise to these inflation figures. We could say that in long running challenge, inflation. mm Furthermore, when we are talking about headline inflation in March, so it is expected by 3 to 4%. Why? Because previously it was recorded below 3% in February, but in March it is expected to further increase by 3 to 4%. There are major reasons, there are very prominent reasons like Ramzan Mubarak here in Pakistan, and we all have experienced this thing that in Ramzan Mubarak the prices they are out of control, and for sure they contribute to high inflation. When we are talking about the interest rate, so in January the interest rate was reduced to 12%. And when we are talking about interest rate, so as I told you that this is the major contributor to the inflation, and when it has reduced, so for obviously in February these results were expected. When we are talking about the urban CPI, competitive price index, so it dropped to 1.8% year on year in February 25. So if we are expecting bit more increase in inflation, as I told you in March, that could be from by 4%. So the reasons are again very prominent, as I told you that Ramzan Mubarak they will be they're on peak, and later on it could be expected that right after Ramzan Mubarak the prices they will be back if the other conditions they are very much certain.